In this video we're going to show you how to measure a road bike frame. Now of course it's the seat pin, saddle, stem and handlebars which will eventually get you into the proper position on your bike, but you want to make sure that you're on the correct size frame in the first place. There's sloping top tubes, there's horizontal top tubes. Some frames will have a mark on the bike saying 58 centimetres or whatever the size is. Others though might say medium, large or extra large. So how do you compare the two? Well, carry on here and you'll find out. Now the three basic measurements on a frame are the seat tube height, the top tube length and the head tube height at the front, and this one at the front will determine how high or low you are able to get on the bike. The most simple bike to measure is one with a horizontal top tube, and that's what we're going to start with. Now if you've got a frame with a horizontal top tube, then the seat tube measurement is simply taken from the centre of the bottom bracket to the top of the seat tube here. In this case we've got the cranks on of course, so we're going to take the measurement from the centre of the crank bolt here, make sure you get 0 centimetres there, and then take it to the top of the top tube. So we've got 22 inches, which is the same as 56 centimetres. Now as I said, measuring the top tube length on a bike or frame with a horizontal top tube is very easy. All you do is put the end of your tape measure in the middle of the head tube at the front, make sure it goes in line with the top tube, and then take it to the very centre of the seat post or seat pin back here. So here we've got 21.5 inch top tube, which equates to just over 54.5 centimetres. Now the length of the head tube will be the same whether it's a sloping frame or a traditional frame, and it's simply measuring from where the fork or the headset cup meets the bottom of the frame to where the headset cup meets the top of the frame. In this instance on our cyclocross bike that is 5 inches or 130 centimetres. So how do you find the equivalent measurements if you've got a sloping top tube? Well, you're going to need a spirit level, you're also going to need to be on flat ground in the first place. And if you've got your bike on a stand like we have, make sure that the front wheel is elevated just as much as the rear wheel. Taking your spirit level, put the underside of it so that it meets the headset or the top of the head tube right in the middle of the fork, so in the centre of this line that comes up through the middle of the head tube, and then take it towards the back and the seat post, get the bubble so it's in line, you know it's level, and either make a mark there, or in this instance we can see that it's just on top of the G of giant, so we know where to measure to. Take your tape measure or ruler, and put the 0 centimetre mark right in the middle at the top of the head tube, and go back to where your mark was, in this case just over 58 centimetres, which is just under 23 inches. So to find out your effective seat tube length, if you've got a sloping frame, you simply take your measure or rule and go from the centre of the bottom bracket axle or the centre of the crank bolt here, same as we did for the last frame, and you measure up to where your mark is, or in our case, where the top of that G is. So this frame is an effective measurement of around about 60 centimetres, which is just over 23.5 inches. So now you know how to measure a bike frame, but how do you know which size frame is the right one for you? Well, we went to catch up with Ollie Beckinsale, pro bike fitter, to get some hints and tips.
So establishing where your feet, an angle of your feet, where they naturally sit on the bike, and then also establishing where the balls of the feet are in relation to the shoe and the cleat.
Yeah, okay, so in terms